Family and friends, we've got a great Facebook Live today. One of my students, Michael Hinkle from Southern California. Love this guy, man. Such great quality about him. We're going to talk about the Senior Referral Academy, what it is to be involved in the senior referral business, and how you guys can get involved in something like this. We're going to talk about how he got started and all the rest. But Michael, hey, welcome, my friend.
Good morning.
And how's Southern California? How's the weather today?
It's pretty nice, a little muggy, but hey, it's warm.
It's
Can't complain out
California.
here.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, he has his own business now. Again, he's a student of mine from the Senior Referral Academy, and he has his own placement company called Guidance Care Placement. We're going to talk about his success story, obviously, and what he's doing, him and his wife. We're going to talk about his resilience and just his commitment to the business. Because like I've shared all along, on lives and videos and all, this is not a get rich quick business, man. Unless you know everybody in the world in your area, is probably not going to happen for the first 30 days, maybe 45 days. But man, it is a legitimate business. If you want something that's going to provide a great amount of money for you and your family, and you can help people working out of your house, this is the business. What do you think, Michael?
Yep, it sure is. I'm just blessed I'm able to be in this position to help. And that's what I always wanted to do, and found you, and it's all history from there.
Awesome. What were you doing before?
Before I was doing this, I was a construction worker, commuting about 2 hours each way, and then I was I was injured in a motorcycle accident, which I was off for a year on disability, and then I didn't know what I was going to do. I couldn't continue to go to construction. I always had a heart to help. I didn't know how I was going to do that, and then my brother-in-law, actually, who's in the 24-hour home care side of things, kind of what we do, but in the in-home care, said, "Hey, why don't you try being an agent?" And I said, "What the heck is that?" And I did some research,
Right?
found Matt, and he taught me gave me the base of what I needed to know as far as the business side, and it's been great.
Man, it is such. You and I have talked off camera too about this. Is I've got a lot of friends and family just really don't understand what I do, and again, it's not their fault. It's not a complicated business, but if you've never been in this industry, you really don't understand what we do. It's kind of like, are you a broker? I know you're helping seniors. You keep saying it's for free, but how in the heck are you making any money? I mean, come on, man, you volunteering? I mean, what is
Yeah.
all this stuff? So, what did you think when you first heard about
I didn't know. I was like, I'd never heard of it before, but I heard that you could help people and you can get rewarded. So I looked into your course, learned a lot from it, and then you just went from there. Had to really put in the work to get established. But now we're starting to see the rewards and the blessings, and I just thank God that He even put me in this position. If not, I would still probably be commuting 2 hours back and forth to work, and
it? Oh,
not seeing my family that much. And now I have more time with my family. Where we're helping people. My heart feels good. It's awesome.
I tell you what, guys, I'm not going. He's not going to brag about this because Michael is one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. Great individual. Your last deal, how much you just made?
200 shy of 4,000.
So $3,800
There you
for
go.
about an hour's worth of work. And we don't say, guys, I'm telling you, we don't say that to brag. It's just I look at it because people see the amount of business we do, and they immediately go to the money aspect, which I'm not complaining by no means. Okay, I love it, but I look at it from a different perspective. I look at it as that's the more seniors we're helping. My wife and I were just had dinner with a former client. Her mom just passed away 4 weeks ago, so we're out having dinner with them. She just texted me this morning thanking us for the time, and she knows someone else that we help that their loved one is still in a residential care home. Now we all want to get together. It becomes like a family, and I love that, man. I love the aspect of helping people.
I love it. Even when I was doing construction, what we were fixing the sidewalks in front of senior communities, taking the trip hazards out, making everything ADA compliant. So I felt good doing that, but I knew I wanted to do more,
Yeah.
and it just almost landed in my lap. And
Have you had that moment yet where somebody gives you a compliment and they go, "Man, you're God sent. You're awesome.
oh,
You're incredible. I couldn't do this. I couldn't have done this without you."
Yeah, I'd like one of my clients, I just helped them even get on the waiver program where I wasn't even going to get a commission, but I still was going to see it through and make sure I could help them. The lady was placing her brother, and she was going to have to pay out of her pocket, to cover the cost. Was able to help assist getting her on the program, was assisted living waiver program, and she was so happy that I was able to help her and save her money. She gave me a referral fee. And
Oh,
they are so excited. They said I was a life changer for
nice.
them.
You are, man. I'm telling you. And you get that all the time. You guys, if you're hearing out there and if you get the rebroadcast, pay attention, look into the senior referral business. It is all over the place throughout the United States. I'm the only one right now that's teaching this, doing it independently. Now, there's franchises that are out there, but I'm talking about just from an independent standpoint, like Michael's doing in Southern California. We're in 13 different states right now, and students they're all different levels. Some just got started 3 days ago. Some have been in it for 6 months. A family situation happened and they had to take a sabbatical for 2 months, getting back in it. But it truly is an opportunity for you out there, the audience, my audience, to join something that's going to provide a great amount of income and to work out of your house. You guys, you see my videos. That's my board over here. I write everything on. I got another board over here that I write my clients on, so I don't typically show that board because I don't want to give my competition my contacts. Computer over here, printer over there. Just, two lights going on. This is my office. This is where I work every day in a t-shirt now because of coronavirus, right? And I guess that's what we got to do, man. You got to rise and grind, buddy. Rise and grind. But it is such an incredible experience. I love it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that would love this too, especially if you're a stay-home mom, you're in between jobs, you are somebody that's looking for extra income initially. And I always encourage somebody, Michael had to leave his job because of injury. I left mine because there'd been a conflict of interest. I always encourage people to stay with their job, treat this on a part-time basis, get it established because it will take a little time, not a great deal of time, but a little bit, because it's not a get-rich-quick deal. It is a legitimate business. Our 2-year anniversary is coming up in 2 months in this business. Michael, it's incredible. I've made, and I know people hate me for this, but I've made more money in the last 6 months than I probably made 3 years prior.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I look forward to that too. We just started the beginning or at the end of last year, got into the field at the beginning of this year, and then COVID hit and pretty much nothing was happening. I had a couple clients that were going to help. They all went on hold. And it got pretty slow where I was almost thinking I had to go back to work. I kept at it, and in this business, what I learned is it's very trust-based. You're going to call these social workers and they don't know who you are. So you have to be persistent. You got to show them that you care. You got to help them, and they're going to test you. They're like, I was tested a lot in the beginning. They give you the clients that are hard to place. And I was calling you all the time, man, what am I going to do?
What do I do?
And that's the best part I think that's probably the best part about the program is you always have access to you as a mentor with your questions. And that's what I take away from me. We're friends now and call you anytime, text you, and even when you're busy, you still find time to answer the phone.
Oh man, I love it. And my whole thing is, I appreciate that, Mike. I really do. My whole thing is, I want you guys to be successful. It is not about selling a course. There's a lot of online courses that are out there. This right here, if you buy this, guys, this is an online course that you get 21 modules, 2 additional training videos, all the industry documents. But then what I do is there's a monthly mastermind. Students like Michael, others join in. I give a teaching. There's some Q&A. And then there's weekly training emails. It could be a video or some things I write down that I have observed during the week. There's some interaction. And something that's hot off the press. I was just on the patio this morning, which I do every morning. Still drinking coffee right now. Having coffee with my wife on the patio every morning. Got to love on your wife, man. Come on, guys. Got to do that kind of thing. It's what this business will do. Give you an opportunity to do that. On the patio, talking with her. Another thing we're just getting ready to do with the Senior Referral Academy is not only provide the online access to 21 modules and all the rest and the monthly mastermind and the emails, but it's going to be a weekly coaching I'm throwing in there My students don't even know about this except for Michael. He's the first person I've told about this. Again, it's hot off the press, but every Wednesday, what we're going to do is we're going to do a live. They're going to have access to the Zoom, a link. They can come on. They can watch me make a phone call. They can ask me a question. I'm going to share my screen, show documents, show whatever I'm doing, full transparency. See, one thing that I do appreciate, and I'm not bragging here, guys, but I guess this comes across this way. I'm actually doing the business. There's a lot of online courses out there where they tell you, hey, tell your story, sell an online course, get people to buy it. It's not even that. I mean, it is my story, but it's something I'm doing. Here's my business phone. We are expanding our business from California to Las Vegas right now. That is a true story. You follow me, you see it. All my students know about it. So it's something I'm doing, and I'm passionate about it, as you probably can tell. But man, what are some of the things that appealed to you, Michael, about the Senior Referral Academy? What are some things that got you, that you liked about it, that helped you and start your business?
Well, for one, I didn't know how to be my own business, how to run a business. I've never done it before. So you lay all that out on the table, and it's so easy and to take in. It's not complicated, and it teaches you, the seven, I think it was the 7 steps.
Yep, you got it, man.
It's been a while since I went through it, but I want to refresh on there. But business is going good, so I may not have to, but it's always there if I need.
You might be teaching others what you do. You're like, Michael's going to establish his own 7 steps.
But and then just how to relate to the families when you're doing the intake form. Trying to find them. You have to find out what they really need.
Yes.
And where to place them. If they're leaning more, they're more independent, then they may not need to go to a care home where the care ratio is tighter. Maybe they want to do more activities. So you got to keep all that in mind, and you just got to use your own judgment, and just always have your heart to help them where they want to go, and not where you want to put them.
Yep. I still remember that text you gave me a few months back, and I loved it, and I showed my wife, and I probably even used it as a testimony in the academy at some point, but it just so struck me. I mean, you text me out of the blue. You're like, hey, I got 2 clients getting ready to move out of skilled nursing facility. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. And guys, that's the thing we talk about, because we're helping seniors at no cost, no obligation. And you do make a great amount of money in this business. And we teach you that. There's some people that are trying to do it on their own, and they are maybe being successful if you already know the process and whatever, that are in the academy now that have tried. I got a testimony of a guy in Virginia that he tried this on his own for like 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And he said he kept hitting a brick wall every time. Bam, bam, bam. And he got the academy. It's like, man, it now makes sense. It just makes sense now, because it's all laid out the way that, and the reason it's laid out the way it is, you guys, is the way I did the business. How the academy started is I went back and said, okay, how did I do the business? And I said, you know what, I'm going to get some people, and I started off with 2 people online. Back last year, I think it was May 2019. We got online. It didn't cost them anything. It was free, because I hadn't really developed the course yet. And so I started once a week on Wednesday night for an hour, hour and a half. And I didn't know if anybody would take me up on it. I had 2 people in the class, didn't pay anything. You think I'd have a lot more, right? Well, I had 2. So, and what happened was I developed the course for that Wednesday 2 days prior. And I started to develop the course, and I taught it. And they liked it. Did they want to come back next week? And I went, oh, crap, I ain't got anything to say next week. I had to go back. And think about, okay, let me actually, just people interested, let me go back and figure this out. So I did it, and we ended up going 5 weeks, and that's how the academy got started. I've since developed some things and made it better, but that's how we all got started. So I love it. I know some people in the industry don't like what I do, because they feel like, hey, I'm giving away secrets because it's such a niche business. You're taking away my business, and I just don't see that, man. I see it as, man, there's 47 million seniors in the United States right now. There's going to be 70 million seniors in the next 2 decades, projected, if not more. We need more people like Michael, more people like you in this industry helping seniors. I love it, because I'm not directing them to any one particular community. I'm just helping them. And I love that part. Yep.
Yeah, and another thing I just remember what I like about the course is that you showed me how to give that concierge service.
Mm.
You know, another reason I got into this business, what made sense to get into it was my wife's great grandfather needed to be placed somewhere, and her grandma, I think, went through a bigger national company, and she says it was a horrible experience. Just, you know, no, there was no personal connection. There was no. It was just like, here, email, like, here, go here, go here. Getting hammered by, you know, salespeople all the time, calling them, and so we've seen the void, and we wanted to be able to provide that locally here. You know, there's right down like 10 minutes down the road, there's Sun City. It's a huge elderly community in Menifee, and so, and even and we go out to Redlands, which is pretty local to us over here, and so, you know, we're doing pretty well now.
Yeah, see, Michael just mentioned, because some of you got questions out there, and it's like, okay, basically what you do, Matt and Michael and ones in your group, you provide a list of all these different communities. That's not what we do. We don't provide a list. The national companies provide this big list. Here's all the communities, and they take your private information and they disseminate that to all these communities in like a 5-10 mile radius, however long they want to make. It could be 20-25 communities. And what happens is all these places call that resident. They get inundated with calls. What Michael just said is, hey, there's a concierge service, meaning we hold their hand through the process. That's what I teach you. It's I wouldn't place anyone, I know Michael wouldn't either, that he wouldn't place his own parents. The national companies don't do that, right, Michael? I mean, that's why I love local referral agencies, not just my local referral agency and not just Michael's. I got friends in the industry that never taken my academy. I got some that have been in the industry longer than me. And I appreciate that about them because they're doing it the right way. And not saying all local agencies are doing it the right way, but I think a lot of them tend to do it the right way because they're establishing relationships in the community. They know people, the social workers, discharge planners, they see the agent on a daily basis or weekly basis, monthly basis, however long they see them, but they know them, right? Like they know you.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have you met? I mean, not necessarily a number, but you know a lot more social workers and discharge planners now, right?
Oh yeah. And now I have one that she says she's only going to work with me.
Oh, woohoo! Love it, man.
And it's awesome because they're contracted with the VA hospital, so, you know, I'm helping veterans, which is awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Everything that they've done for us, you know, it's our job to help them. You know.
That's right. I do. Michael alluded to this earlier. I teach a technique in the academy about how to get business from skilled nursing, and it's developing that 3R, right? It's getting the rapport, relationship, and becoming a resource. And that technique is a little bit limited right now with the coronavirus, quite honestly. So I've adjusted it because the lack of, you know, we can't visit, right? I just met a social worker last week that I do a lot of business with, and I met her out in the parking lot. I mean, I can't necessarily go in the building right now. So, but going back to that thing is, I remember you mentioned social work giving you all the business. I got a couple of those, and one, I started using my technique, and I was getting lead after lead after lead, but they were all like low-paying leads, which I still treat them with the same decency and respect that I want anybody to treat me and my family. I still go. I teach my students that you're not prejudiced on the phone. I know there's other referral agencies because I've heard stories left and right. They'll qualify them on the phone. If they only make $1,100 SSI, they don't go. They don't meet with them. And I think that's hogwash. You don't do that. You go and you meet with them. But anyway, this one skilled nursing, it was like 5 times I got these leads, and they're all low paying leads. And so I remember in my head, and I'm pretty positive, if you follow me, you know that I'm pretty outgoing. Oh, did you lose me? Can you hear me?
No voice, no audio.
No audio now? Can you hear me? Did Facebook cut me off? All right. Okay, wait for here a second. How about now, Michael? Can you hear me? Anybody out there that knows that can hear me?
No audio still. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. I hear you plain as day. All right. We got a little technical difficulties. What happens on the internet, man? Things happen. You still can't hear me? Hey, Michael, hop off and come back on.
Technical difficulties. Gotta love them, right?
That's right. Hey, Mike, hop off and come back on. He can't hear me, so I'm gonna knock him off. We'll get Michael back in a second. Guys, hopefully you can hear me. But we're talking about skilled nursing, talking about the senior referral business, talking about my students. This is technology kind of deal. It's what happens sometimes when you're online. All right, he can hear me now. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, so Jonathan can hear me. All right, Jonathan. Thanks, man. Jonathan's out there. So we're talking about this business, you guys. This is a great opportunity for you guys to get involved in something that that you can work out of your house. I do this out of my house consistently. It's a business that has blessed my wife and I. It is something that we hold very dear to our hearts because we help people. It's not the amount of money, I know, but it comes down to that, right? Let me ask you a question. When you go and you do your job interview somewhere, is money on the forefront of your thinking? Meaning you go to a job interview, whatever it is, and they give you 50% less than what you were expecting. Let me ask you this. Would you agree to that job? Some of you would, some of you wouldn't. But I know money is a factor, right? You've got a certain dollar amount that you need to make on an hourly basis or an annual basis that's going to justify you giving of your time to make money. And that's called a job. There's nothing wrong with that. In this business here, I don't have to do that. I don't give my time to make money. I help people. You just heard a testimony from Michael. 1 hour of work. It doesn't always happen, okay? It's not like you can make this your hourly rate, but it does happen where 1 hour he makes $3,800. Unbelievable. And I'm just super excited that let's see here a second. We'll get Michael back on a second. But I want to encourage you guys, if you're thinking about getting involved in a business, check this out. Not just because it's my business, not because it's my course, but it is a great opportunity for you to make money for your family, but more importantly, to help others. But again, going back to that job interview, if it's not a certain dollar amount, you wouldn't even go. Let me post it. I'll prove it. Let me post a job opportunity that you can come work for me, and I'm going to give you $7 an hour. I don't think I get too many requests. People will say, all right, go work for Matt. Okay, in the senior referral business, I'm going to be a marketer. I'm going to be whatever. I can put whatever title I want. And all you're going to see is the $7 an hour. That is it. And you're not going to show up. You're not going to apply. Right? I wouldn't either. Who would? So you have to talk about the money aspect. Okay, I'm not volunteering. We are making money. But the joy of it is we're able to help seniors. And I think Michael's getting ready to come back on the screen. Got a 2-second delay here. Michael, can you hear me now?
There we are.
All right, man. We've been talking, preaching all about the academy since you've been gone, and just getting down to the business. But going back to that skilled nursing I was telling you about, the first, I lost him again. We're having some, that's okay. So guys, go ahead. If you want to get involved in this business, I'm going to put my number on here. You see that right there. If you guys want to get involved in the business, here it is right here. You guys text that number right there. If you want to get involved in the business, Michael showed up. Michael, can you hear me? All right, you're coming on in 1 second. All right, we're back. All right, sorry guys. Hey, this happens. Technology is just, it's a weird thing. I was getting them to text my number if they want to know more about the business. But going back to that story again, man, I get all my business from this individual now. But the first 4 or 5 leads I got were all low income, which again, I still, like I told you guys, I did. I went out there, I met with every single one of them, and I'm pretty positive. But in my mind, I kept thinking, God, here comes another low income. Here comes another. And I remember going there, and I got somebody that could actually afford, because you guys, if you're just listening, don't know anything about the business, assisted living is private pay. It is expensive. There's nothing cheap about it. And so I went, and I was like, oh, they can actually afford this. Sweet. I'm actually going to help them,
Yeah.
so a great thing. So, well, Michael, tell us a little bit about your business, man. I wanted to have you talk a little bit about you and your wife and your family and just what you mean to the community and how you impact the community, what you do. So go ahead, man. Bragg, talk about your company. I want to know more about it.
Well, guidance care placement is my wife actually came up with that name, which is pretty clever because that's what we're doing. We're guiding them to their care. We don't make
Yep.
the decisions for them, so that was very fitting. And yeah, we started, like I said, last year at the end in December, I believe. Got out into the field in January, and then we just started, like you say, you just got to go out there and start swimming, and you swimming with the sharks. These
Come on.
social workers, they don't have time to talk to you, and they don't, sometimes they don't want to even hear your pitch. So you just got to be persistent. You got to learn what to say, what not to say.
Okay, stop right there, because I love that. That is beautiful what you just said. You got to learn what to say and what not to say, because too many people want to say a whole lot, man. Bang, 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 and you've learned what?
You just gotta give them the goods. You just tell how you can help them, how you can be a help. How you're gonna assist them. To they need their beds cleared, and then they need them cleared when that discharge date is there, and it needs to be done. And they're serious about that. And if you can't, provide them with that service, then they will just not return your phone call, or So I had a couple that were giving me, like you said, those low income leads where they had no family, had no other assets, and I tried my best, and being like I could say a rookie in the business, I didn't really know where to go. So some of them I couldn't help in the beginning, and then those social workers like, oh, this guy can't help me, or I'm not going to use him. Then I just kept going, and every day I'm learning. That's what I love about this. I'm learning something new about this industry every day. And now I got it down. I can I know where to go. I know who to call. I know what programs are out there, and you have to do your homework. And you can't just jump in this and just start turning over profit. It takes work, and your heart's got to be in it first.
Yep. That's perfect. Because you're right. Because if you're looking, guys, I'll say this again till probably the day I die. If you're looking to be rich quick in this business, probably not going to happen. Michael just said, man, it takes hard work. You have to have your heart into it. It is a legitimate business, guys. Again, this is not an online course, something you just kind of flippantly do. I want you to get to the level where I'm at and even greater. That'd be awesome. I don't have any students right now that are doing more work than I'm doing right now, but I can't wait for that day to happen. That's going to be awesome. And we're expanding our business from California to Las Vegas. We're going to be in 2 markets. The year after that, we're going to be in Phoenix. We're going to be in 3 markets. That's what you can do. But I guarantee I'll have students out there, man, that will just be pounding it. Oh, there you go. I got a question for you. Jonathan, one of my newest students, he's actually near Phoenix, matter of fact, where we have a 3rd location. And Michael was just out that way with family. He wants to know, what's the best strategy for finding leads?
I don't know the best strategy yet, but my approach was just targeting the social workers at the skilled nursing facilities, and I know I should be. Matt preaches this all the time. You got to be consistent on your social media, which I hate to say, but I'm not that consistent on my social media. But just being persistent and calling and proving yourself reliable to the social worker is what's been helping me. And like Matt, even when I was struggling in the beginning, he said, I'm doing all this business, but I don't have 100 contacts that are giving me leads. I have a handful of good ones.
That's it.
And that's what I'm finding. These solid, building these relationships with these social workers, and just being able to do my best to help people and help them. And that's another thing that I love about the industry so much is, if I'm helping a social worker clear a bed, I'm helping a family get their loved ones where they need to be. I'm helping a care home fill a bed, and in the end, I'll get rewarded what's going to help me and my family. And it's a full circle. It's all just helping each other, and that's what made me drew me into this business.
I'll tell you what, I love that, Michael. You said it only takes a few contacts, because there's a lot of people who think I need to know everybody in the industry to do this business. I've had people tell me, the industry's saturated, which is BS. It's not saturated. There's a lot of people. There's freelancers. There's people doing it incorrectly. There's people that are just getting finder's fees. You don't need to be that kind of person. Establish your business, get entrenched, and it takes just a few contacts, just like Michael did. Took a few contacts. Now, bang, 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 helping seniors with his heart, because that's what it takes. It's not the money-driven person. It's not the person that's following the money. The money's going to follow you. Your heart has got to be in, I want to help seniors. I want to help an individual who does not know the process, does not know where to go, and I can be that answer. I'm the problem solver. That is the heart of an entrepreneur, and that's what he's doing. And now, because he's been doing that, the money is following. I don't know how else to explain it, man. It's just
Yeah. And I've had some social workers tell me that, like, oh, there's too many of you guys. You can try, but I already work with people. And he's like, okay, yeah. Well, that's fine. I'm happy that you have those contacts. But if you find yourself with no one that call me. I'm here to help. But continue to do what you do. That's awesome. You're caring for people. You have people caring for you, caring for your patients and your residents. And if you can include me in that rotation every once in a while, hey, that's awesome. If not, I'll just continue to do what I do and continue to help where I can.
That's right. I want to go back to the social media part, and I know you said you don't do that as well. It's something that I thought was a hoax for 3 months, because I've said this, I think, in the academy, and I've told a lot of people this. For like 3 months, it seems like I didn't get any comments, no likes. If you follow me on social media, I don't have thousands of followers. Now, on LinkedIn, it's different. I've got over 10,000 on LinkedIn. But like on Instagram, I got 550. Facebook is like 500. My personal is 5,000. But the business side of it, it's not a whole lot, right? But it's the being consistent. And I was getting discouraged at the beginning for 3 months because I wasn't getting likes or any comments. And what helped me get over that is the likes in the comments are all pats on the back. I was looking for somebody to go, oh, nice post, great, oh, keep it up, man, you're doing great. That's not really the people you're targeting anyway. Yeah. And what I found out after doing it for 3 months, even though I thought I was wasting my time, my phone started going off. I started getting a text or an email or noticed some activity on my website. I went, wow, and that's not a whole lot, guys. I'm not talking thousands. You don't need thousands. This is a high ticket item. You're talking about if you can get a handful of people in the pipeline, dude, you're on fire. You know what I'm saying? We do consistently 10 to 14. Now, 14's on the high end. Let's say on average 10, 12. And when I first started, we got 3 move-ins in the first month. Atypical. It doesn't really happen. First 6 months, we probably averaged about 5. We just got into it, and how I get that average is we did a little bit more probably in the last 2 or 3 months of the 6 month period of time. But in essence, it takes time. If you get into this and it's something you want to make money right away, you can, but it probably won't happen. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at it for longevity, you're looking at it to make a difference in the community, making a difference with seniors and their families, and have relationships where you go out to dinner with them, like I said earlier, and people keep calling you now, and now referrals are happening. That is a legitimate business, and you'll be successful if that's where your heart is, just like Michael's. That's where his heart is.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I love it. I don't know. We talked about off camera. I think it was off camera. God, we've been talking a while. It's when you first get your first move in, that taste.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to go back, man. You're like, you don't want to, you're like, oh, the amount of money, great, but you legitimately help somebody. Mm-hmm. If you've ever done that in your life, which I know a lot of our audience has, whether it be family, friends, whatever, you've helped somebody and you didn't really get anything in return, it's still a great reward, right? Because you're genuinely helping somebody. You're being a good Samaritan. But if you can get a lot of money in return for doing that, and that's not really your motivation, and you've trained yourself and disciplined yourself to just help people and give value. I can give you an example. I teach this in the academy. And I actually practice this. If I get anybody that calls me that needs help in identifying a skilled nursing facility, which I make no money in doing that, quite simple. I have done that multiple times over because I want to help somebody. I had a guy just the other day call me from skilled nursing. He's got $800 a month in his pocket. I'm still helping the guy. Where can I place him with assisted living? Nowhere. If you're in the business, you know $800 a month is not going to get you anywhere. I don't care how you think that's a lot of money, and it may be to a certain person, but in the area of assisted living, it's not. I'm still helping the guy. I'm still, and I tell you why. Two reasons. One, I'm just built that way. I want to show the respect that I want in my return, right, and for my family. But number two, this is a great opportunity. This is a skilled nursing I get zero business from. So it gives me an opportunity. Now, if the pandemic wasn't in place, I would be there. I can't go there physically, but it gives me an opportunity to reach out to the social worker, let her know what I'm doing so she's in the loop. What does that do? Provides a contact.
Yeah.
What Michael was doing. So to answer your question, Jonathan, you got to be persistent. You got to be, which you are. I know you already are. Jonathan, him and I text quite a bit. And he's on the phone. He's pounding it. He's not shy about it. So I don't think he has a problem with that. But it's just a matter of being consistent over the long term, right? It's not 2 days. It's 2 weeks, 2 months. Keep going, realizing this is what I'm doing. Like you said earlier, man, you dove in, you're swimming regardless.
Yeah, and it's a I don't know if I said this already, but they have to trust you. You can't just call a social worker and they're just going to hand you over, especially with the COVID. So they're not seeing you in person. You're calling down there, and you ask for a face sheet, and they don't even know who you are. That face sheet has personal information on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're not going to trust you with taking that resident that they have that they need to work on to find placement and put it into your hands where they're not worrying about it. And because then if they hand it off to you and they trust you that you're going to take care of it and you don't, then discharge date comes and there's no placement. Then they're, you're not proving yourself as you're doing your business and your job well. So a lot of that was just like, oh yeah, I'll take your information down and I'll call you. And then you never get a call. You have to keep, because they're getting calls. They're so busy with their residents and phone calls and family and everything that they're doing that they're not going to remember your one time calling in. And they're going to think of you. You have to be on their mind. You have to call them. You have to, tell them what you're doing. Tell them how many contacts you have set up for care home, memory care, assisted living, independent living, all that stuff. I get a lot of calls for room and boards where I don't have no connection with room and boards because they're not licensed. So I don't really know too much of that. But they're always looking for that. So I had to, in my network, find someone I could pass, that to them. But, you just got to keep building your network. That's probably the biggest thing too, is having the resources for you. I got someone that does the Medi-Cal paperwork for them. I got someone that helps get the veterans benefits for the seniors. When they don't know, and some seniors don't even know that they have veterans benefits and they're veterans. And getting them on that, and then they get, the veterans, they get, their benefits are pretty good. So finding them a place is not as hard, and it's good. So
you were Michael saying, and not cut you off here, but I want to interject this. He's going through a bunch of details. You hear him, the details, the veterans, and doing all this stuff. What does that tell you? He has a business. He's not one time said, let me go out and get a name and a number and drop it off at a community. That's the freelance people. That's the people that don't have a business. They're just trying to get a name and number and go drop it off. He is talking about building a business, and that's what this is all about. If you want to learn how to build a business, man, text me below. I will teach you how to build a business from your home and make a great amount of money and help a whole bunch of people. And that's exactly what he's doing. And I love that because, that's kind of the way I'm wired. You don't see my files over here, but I got a bunch of files over here. I got a bunch of clients. I wish I could show you. And let me see if I can adjust my camera. I'll bring my camera over here. Hang on a second. There's my file, right? Look at it. These are clients, guys. Clients. That is over there. And you don't see those files over there, my printer. That is just kind of different things what I'm doing. Like I got all these different files. Like I got a Vegas file. Here's a Vegas file. All right, it's got a bunch of stuff in this Vegas file. Okay, and it's got all kinds of stuff. Let me stay here. It's kind of weird, huh? I'm moving the camera all around. I want to show this real quick, though. Sorry, Michael.
No problem.
So assisted living. So I got this bunch of stuff here. I just did a video on this. And here's assisted living. I got a list, and how I got this list right off Google. You see there's not too many notes on this because I teach what's called an 80-10-10 rule in the academy. The 80-10-10 rule is 80% of your time should be lead generation. It should be making connection with skilled nursing and not assisted living and care homes. Care homes, I mean, no contacts yet. So where my contacts are going? Skilled nursing. Look at this page. Bam, highlight, boom, make contact here. Contacts over here. Contact here. Oh my gosh, back over here. Why? Because I'm more interested in lead generation. And when you start getting leads, then you can help people and get them there. So that's kind of like.
I have a list that looks pretty similar to that.
Nice, my man. I love it. Let me see if I can get my camera back up here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. We're kind of cut it off here a little bit, but I get passionate about this stuff because it is so cool that you get to help people. But you do have to be organized. You do have to, do things the right way, understand the process, and that's where people, when they try to do it on their own, when they go through this whole thing of I just want to go get a lead, and it doesn't work, and then they go a couple months and they go, well, I ain't got no leads. You got to work the business. But Michael, I'll tell you what, man, as good as you're doing right now, I'm going to implore you to do something. Post one every day. Pick one social media arm, whatever it is. I don't care which one you like. Post something every day. Let me tell you, let me give you a trick about how to post, because I've had people ask me about the content. The content's always tricky. Like, how do you get the content? I've had people ask me, do I have scripts? Do I come up with, where do I get the stuff at? Now, it's a little bit more difficult at the beginning because you've got no experience and you got no connections, right? Over time, when I do my posts, most of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, in my mind, I'm thinking about an exact scenario I went through. I don't put their name. I don't put John Smith at ABC. I don't do that, but I'm thinking about a story in my mind, and I'm just typing that story out, but not using any names and no places and things like that. And so that's why it comes across a little more maybe genuine. But I'm telling you, do that once a day, Michael, and your experience, because you've already got clients, you got things popping, you got momentum, you've got to ride that momentum. That is where the secret sauce is. You've got to get to the place where Michael is in having the momentum. And when you've got the mo on your side, man, it's like basketball. You can shoot big shots with your eyes closed. Bang!
Yeah.
All right, so I got another question from Jonathan. Do rehabs count as skilled nursing? Yeah, they're skilled nursing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Post-acute, skilled nursing, healthcare centers, all that. They all have patients that will, if they're not safe to go home because of the living situations, they cannot discharge them unless it's a safe place.
That's right. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Michael, what else you want to talk about, man? We got a couple more minutes. Give me a little bit about let me ask you this. We talked about how great the Academy is and all that stuff. What's been your toughest challenge in this business? Because there are challenges, and I'm trying to be very real with people. They're putting very real dollars into this business to trust me to help them, but there are difficulties that are out there. What is your greatest challenge right now besides the coronavirus? Okay, that's kind of the given. But just if everything was normal, let's go before the coronavirus, what was your greatest challenge coming out of the Academy?
For me, it was kind of a personal challenge because I wasn't, wasn't really too big on, conversating with people too well every day for work. In my profession before, I was a construction guy. So, was just working with my hands and fixing things, seeing it broken, fixing it. So I had to take that hard work ethic that I had and transfer it to this business model where it's 90% of the work is on the phone and things like that. So that was a struggle for me. And then some of the times I would call Matt like discouraged, like, man, like this is kind of tough for me. And he would just get on me and get me all pumped up and I'll be ready to hit it again.
This crazy Matt over here in California. Shoot.
So, that was for me a big challenge, was just getting my mind focused on the, being in front of people and talking and telling them how I can help them. Because I knew I could do it one-on-one, but, getting in front of, and sometimes you'll go into a skilled nursing facility and you open the door and there'll be, 5 social workers, case managers just looking at you and they're all dressed up nice. And it's like, oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm Mike. And, I struggled with that in the beginning, but, repetition, it's blowing out. And then it's like I said, making those connections at first was you have to win them over. You have to, build that relationship with the social worker. That was my biggest challenge, because going in and touring a care home, getting the contract out there in place, that wasn't too bad.
No, yeah.
But just going and talking to I think that was my biggest. And then for me, honestly, except for the fact that the coronavirus was, not allowing the discharge planners to actually discharge with the lockdown and stuff that was going on. So what I actually took advantage of working from home solely and just calling, being on the phone, making those calls. You have to, I have a list of, every single, I forget what website it was on, but if I can remember, I'll shoot it out there. But I found a list of every single skilled nursing rehab, and I copied, just like you said, copied and pasted it, and I would just call, boom, and then I would have them on like a weekly. I'd call this bunch on Monday, this group on Tuesday, and you just have to keep hitting them every weekly and be persistent. And you got to be fresh on their mind so that when they come, like, oh man, I really need to find someone. Oh yeah, guidance care, please. Let me give them a call.
Yeah.
And then so that was my biggest. So far, that was my biggest challenge.
Yeah. I give a technique in Academy, and I do this. I'll say it right now, so I don't mind giving out stuff. I probably give out too much free value anyway. I got people that follow me on my YouTube channel. I know because they told me, and they don't buy any of my stuff. They just follow me because they want my material. They just dissect and pull stuff, extract it out, and try to do it. But I give you one tactic. So if you're following me and you don't have my material, just do this. When you're able to go into skilled nursing and you've never been there before, do not act like you've never been there before. Number one, walk in with confidence. Dress up. Do not dress like this. Do not dress rise and grind. Don't do that. Go in with a suit. You ain't got to have a tie, but go in with a suit. You have your cell phone in your hand. Text, act like you're texting, act like you're on the phone, even though the reception sucks in those places. Act like it. You'll bypass most of the time. Now, there's a couple places in Fresno you cannot do it because they're tough. But most places you can bypass whoever's at the front because they think you belong there. Because you're in a suit and you're on the phone, they look at you, judge you by what you're wearing. He's important. He makes money. He's on the phone. I don't want to disturb him. You walk right past him. Go down any hallway. You still know where you're going, right? Go down the hallway. Now you're going to bump into a nurse, a caregiver, a worker of some sort. You just ask them, say, oh, you know what? I think I got turned around. Where's the social worker? Oh, she's over there. Oh, great. You know what? Can you help me out a little bit? I forgot her first name. Oh, Sam. Oh, great. Hey, thank you so much. You're a blessing. You know exactly where to go now, and you're going to meet Sam. And if Sam is not there and the door is locked because she's doing something else, you can't find her, guess what? When you call back, you know who the social worker is. You got her name. You ain't got to go, my name is Matt, Stafford Senior Solutions, and can I speak to the social worker? No, hey, I want to call for Sam. Can I speak to Sam, please? Mm-hmm. They immediately patch you through because it sounds like you know the person. I'm giving you much value probably on that, people that are just out there. Okay, I got another student from Florida. He said, Matt, have you thought about marketing directly to seniors? Yes, let's get into that a little bit. I have marked, I don't market per se. Okay, when I do my Facebook, social media, and I do stuff, I will do some ads, okay? I will do some ads. You don't have to do ads, but I do it, especially going into a new territory or just even my own territory in Fresno, and I'm running something in Texas right now. So I run a little bit, and I look at it as I'm reinvesting in my business. But you do that. I don't target seniors as much as I do the kids. Now, the kids are my age. I'm 51. I target that group of people between 50 and 70. Now, that could be the resident. I've placed plenty of people that are in the high 60s, mid 70s. But by and large, you're going to get 80s, 90s. And if you target that 50 to 70 group, you're going to get the kids. That's the decision maker. That's the POA. That's the person that's going to move the train. It's not the senior. And the reason is no senior wants to go to an assisted living community. I'm into business. Michael's into business. And I don't know what Michael would say to this. He probably would say the same thing. You're not putting me in assisted living. I'm 51 years old. When I'm 85, I'm still burning donuts with my Camaro. You're not putting me, right? I'm not going. But I know what's going to happen. If I live to be that long, God blesses me with that. My 4 kids are going to take my butt to say, hey, we're going out for some ice cream, and they're going to drop me off somewhere. But the point is, nobody wants to go to these places. They're looked upon as the last step, the last thing they're going to do in their life. So target, Delio, target the kids, and the kids are 50 to 70 in that range. So that's what I do. I find that to be very helpful. And when I talk to them, like I'm dealing with a couple right now. It's a senior. They're living alone. They shouldn't be living alone. Their daughter lives here in Fresno, and the son lives in Colorado. I'm talking to both of them right now, but I'm not talking to the seniors. I'm talking to the kids. They're the ones going to make that decision. And it takes some transitional time when the seniors get to any place. Usually they say 3 weeks, 21 days, 30 days, whatever it is. But it's like anything, right? Everybody, it sucks to move, right? I hate moving. Put yourself as a senior. You're kind of, your independence is being stripped from you. You don't want to go. You feel like your family's abandoning you. You feel like they're just dropping your butt off somewhere. That's what all the feelings they're thinking. And it's valid, right? It's valid. So that's why I don't target them, because seniors typically don't want to move. I've only had a couple seniors that smile at me when they moved. Most of them are not doing cartwheels when they move. Most of them are pissed off. They don't like it. I mean, you're going to a room with strangers. I know it's a beautiful house. They got caregivers, great people. They don't know these people. They know their family. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but that's what I would do. All right, Michael, anything else, my man? Any other questions out there? I got a couple students on right now. Jonathan from Arizona, Dalio from Florida. I think he's down there right near Miami, I believe. And so we got a couple students on here asking some questions.
Yeah, and then I'm going to start targeting the 55 plus communities and trying to, that their next step may be, assisted living, they live a healthy, long life, but, it's good to be prepared.
That's right. Yep. All right, my man. Well, Michael, I appreciate it, buddy. If you guys want to get involved in a home business, go ahead and click below. Text me. You got my number right there. I'd be glad to share with you. And I'm just so blessed to have students like Michael, Dalio, and Jonathan, and there's a bunch of others. We're, like I said, we're in 13 different states right now, and I actually, it blesses my heart to really know that I had some impact in helping others to establish a home business. And I say a 6-figure home business all the time, because you just heard earlier what Michael made on one deal, $3,800. And across the nation, you'll make on average $3,000 a move-in. You just will. In Texas, you can't make any more. It's actually capped off at 3, because they just know that's the national average. So you do the math. You do 2 a month, you're at $72,000 a year. What a great part-time income. And if you can get that up to 4 or 5, I mean, you're in well into 6 figures. And it's not real difficult. But again, keep in mind, if you think about this business, like Michael said earlier, have a heart for seniors. That's the ones that are most successful in this business. It's not the ones that are chasing money. And I know I have to say something about money, because nobody's going to jump into the academy if I say you're not going to make anything. I'd be like, hey, you get to help a bunch of people, but you're not going to make any money. Just like, you're not making any money. I don't talk about money. No money. You're just going to help people. I mean, who would sign up for that, right? I mean, come on. I know there's a lot of good Samaritans out there, Michael, myself, and Dalio and Jonathan and others that really want to help people. But it is also a way, a vehicle to help support your family. And that's what I want to get at, man. So if you want something that's a vehicle to help support your family in a good way, I mean, our income has grown exponentially. My wife and I have, and it's not here to brag about me, so I'm not going to go into all of that stuff, but I am living comfortably. I'm not at a place where I want to be. I'm my worst critic, and I want to get better and better and better. I love doing interviews like this, because it reminds me of why I do what I do, and is to help people. And I believe you have that as your motivation, man. And I know it's an old adage and cliche, but the sky is the limit. I mean, it's just there. I mean, it's just, I'm a living proof of it. There's plenty of other people out there that are doing it. It's living proof of it. And it's a great industry to be involved in. And with the baby boomers and everything else, this industry will not go away. I don't foresee it dying down for my lifetime. I mean, the way the numbers are projected, at least for the next 30, 40 years, I would think that this business will be booming. So it'll be an opportunity for you guys. So anyway, Michael, thank you so much, my man.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to it. Hey, since I got a couple of my other students on, I don't know if they heard me earlier But you guys, I'm also including in the course, you got the modules, you got the online stuff, you got the monthly mastermind meetings you're going to, and you got the weekly training emails. But one thing, Mike, I told Michael early on, and again, I know it came on the live, but I'm not sure if these guys heard it, is what I'm going to start doing is every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, not today, I got an appointment today, but starting next week, every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, I'm going to send out a link a couple of days prior to that. And if you guys want to hop on Wednesday at 5 o'clock, that's not the monthly mastermind. It's just for me to show you stuff on my screen, make phone calls, interact with you. It's a coaching element that's part of the academy. You guys tell me out there that's hearing this, any online course that's giving you that, giving you an online course, giving you a monthly mastermind, giving you weekly training emails, and a weekly coaching session, all for that price. Unbelievable. Amen.
Amen.
All right, my friend. Thanks, Michael. I'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right. Take care.
You bet. Bye-bye. All right, there you go, guys. You heard from Michael. You heard from a couple other students that text in, and I'm just super excited about this business. And I know you probably say, man, Matt is just passionate about this stuff. I am. I'm ecstatic. I'm elated about helping people and getting my business to a whole nother level. And I want you to do the exact same thing, guys. If you're hearing me out there, you can do this business. It is something that if you have in the forefront of your mind, like I said earlier, if you want to genuinely help people, this is a great industry to be involved in. More people we help, the more we're blessed. And my wife and I are extremely blessed. We are just, it blows us away every day of the lifestyle we can live, but more importantly, helping people. And you just got to throw those two things together. And it's difficult to say, but it's because it can come out quite wrong about how much money you can make. But that's the truth of the matter is in this business. I just want to appeal to you. It's not a sales thing. You got a student here. You heard what he's making. I got other students that are just getting started and others that have been in it for a while that are making a good amount of money. And I want to help you guys out. So text me below. We'd love to talk to you. God bless. Until next time, be blessed, man. Go do it. Get your dreams accomplished and everything you do.